This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song. But then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang,
whoa, East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast gon' head stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. Crew love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang.
Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack.
East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang.
Where I come from, streets is made of gold. Trapping like the new me, move back like the old me. On my back like Yoshi, yeah. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Can't beat them, join them. One life, enjoy it. Live like you royal, hell with purpose, let's destroy it. You think I'm joking? It's every word that's spoken. And rap these days is trapping craze, can get away with anything with 808s. They spell and pray and swell your brain, you fade away, your soul decay. They dig and graze, I'm A-okay. Just fast and pray, there'll come a day, a price to pay like Sally May, you in debt. So cast away your regrets, I digress. They regress, they treat girls like objects. They play round like recess, this rap game is nonsense. They big mad cause we bless a goon to a goblin. You offset, I onset, I'm onset with wine in my goblet. You whining for God, I just pulled out the projects assigned to these haters. I feed off your comments, shake greed off my palms and take knees like I'm Colin. Take heat or just rot and just bleed while you falling in. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Sitting, waiting, sinning lately, getting lazy, lighting up, you getting hazy. Kinda light just doesn't faze me, hating things that rap portraying. Ricky Bobby shaking bacon, Ricky Bobby shaking, me and Evo breaking up. I just hung up on the plug. Look at me like, why you bugging? Now they all like, what the what? Look at them like, why you thugging? Want my soul, want my gifts, want my heart for fame and money. Gotta admit, I almost did it. Turn around and started running. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Back y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi.
He's heating up!
She call me Captain, but I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Tryna stay private, but I got them groupies. Owe me in private, but don't get all choosy. Bust out the bubble and in with the new me. FTLOG on the top with the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies. She call me Captain, but I got no cap. I make this money, it comes out on tap. Tryna stay humble, but I get real moody. Try not to stumble, but she a real cutie. Bust out the bubble and in with the new me. FTLOG on the top with the blue jeans. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. I got the rubies, I got the rubies.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode, and today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you beaches. Welcome to the show. Welcome to 3588. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe live on Rumble and YouTube, and of course, over there on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, leave a 5-star review. Share the show with your friends. Let's get into today's episode. Obviously, today, rocking the awesome I Am Not Racist, I Just Don't Like You. Super bass. Super bass. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's not your skin color. It's not your culture. It's not your heritage. It's just your personality. That's it. It's that simple. Well, anyway, fam, we got some new releases. We're going to get into that. We have a big announcement today with regards to merch. You're going to like it. It's awesome. It's great. You're going to love it. Quite frankly, it's the best. You are going to love it. So no announcement of the Swole card. I have it right here. I don't want to show the Pinkston Churchill. Actually, I could show her, but I'm going to hide the Swole card. I'm going to hide the Swole card. I almost showed her, and I would have given it away, so she's here. I'm hiding the Swole card. Hiding. So we will talk about the Swole card in a little bit. So drop the hashtag. You can drop secret Swole card. You could drop that hashtag in the comments. That's fine. Let's get into the first post today. We have this awesome, we got a couple comments over on Spotify, but we got this from the merch first.
What's in the box?
We got this from Nathan, and Nathan says, love the graphics. Hilarious. Definitely gets the most comments on this one. And of course, in reference to the deadlift shirt. That's a base shirt. How many of you have deadlift? Great design. Great design. The deadlift shirt, absolutely fire. So check that out over there at papaswolio.com. We also have a couple responses, a couple comments over the weekend. Just took a simple screenshot because these were on the weekend Swolosophy episodes. So if you didn't check those out, make sure you check out the weekend Swolosophy. That was episode 3587, 3586. Granny Pam says, it definitely changes it for the better. We are meant to move. And this was on 3586. It'll change your life. Cerny says, the only thing sitting around on my ass got me was fat and miserable. Deciding to go to the gym changed that. No more mental meds. I went back to the gym at age 63. I'm 70 now and have never looked back, and the gains are real. So 3586 was about the gym, but it was about why I'll change your life and why I do what I do and why I'm going to keep on doing what I do. So go and check that out. That was Saturday's episode. And Cerny commented also on 3587, another shout out. You don't have as much time as you think you do. It goes by fast. Each day you wait is another day you lose. It has to be a part of your life for the rest of your life. And that's about gains next week. And that's 3587. So I don't want to give away what was talked about in that episode, but gains next week is a great one. I'm telling you, gains next week. Go and check that out. The effort you put in today is not for today. Go and listen to those episodes over the weekend and make sure you comment on Spotify because I see them and I'd love to give you guys a shout out. So shout out to Pam and Cerny for rocking it over the weekend and leaving a comment. Appreciate that. Love it. Let's get into the tip fam. We got a lot to get into. Let's
Just
do
an
it.
inch. Just an inch.
All right.
It's cold outside.
Shout out Mark, John, Michelle, Pam, Loretta, Mike, how we doing in the comments? Alex, what up? Elizabeth, Matt, everyone showing up, turning out for a great Monday accountability meeting. Man, we got some new stuff, but we got to talk about it. Ooh, oh boy. Oh boy, we got some good stuff at the end of today's episode. Secret Swole card. We got it. We got it at the end of the show. Stay tuned. It's coming. John says, so most mornings I wake up ravenous as fuck. This is my first meal every day. 3 scrambled eggs, 3 bacon, and a couple sausage patties, all cooked and mixed into a bowl, a couple of medjool dates, a slice of sourdough bread with grass-fed butter, and a cup of bulletproof coffee, hashtag rate my meal. No complaints. There we go,
I
man.
give it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
We're going a little bit on the, I guess a little bit, I wouldn't say lower carb, but you got the bread, you got the dates, good stuff, coffee, delicious. I love it. Good stuff. Look, you can mix in a bowl so people think that breakfast has to be sunny side up eggs. You know, it doesn't have to look, you can make eggs. We talk about this with beef. Beef has so much variety. You can mix up beef in so many different ways. You can cook it in so many different ways, in so many different manners. Same thing with eggs. You don't have to have just slices of bacon. You can chop it up. You don't have to have over easy or hard boiled. You can scramble. You can mix it all together with beef or whatever it is, just like John's doing. So looking good, man. And dates are so good. The medjool dates, nothing's better than a medjool date. But man, aren't they filling? You have like 2 or 3 and you're cooked. So good. And I love sourdough bread. Excellent. I had some this morning myself. So good stuff. Good stuff. We have a couple more food pictures too. Let's get into this one from Kevin. Love these posts. All right. Second 28 days in the book. The second 28 days in the book. So second month. Scale fluctuates a lot, but still down 14 pounds from the beginning of the year. Ditch the protein bars. They're tasty, but focusing on getting my nutrients as much as possible in from whole food. I don't need them, and I'm still hitting 170 plus grams a day. Started having fats and veggies of some form with every meal. Intentional time twice a day with no screens or thoughts. Well, you're going to have thoughts, but I get what you mean. Just focusing on a few minutes of silence. Weather getting a little nicer, so now doing 2 short walks a day. Good for you. Stop thinking I will hit 200 pounds by this date. I'm still 252, but I'm getting comfy and keep working out till you hit the goal. So in other words, stop like, okay, it's either this number on this date or bust, or I failed. You know, that's the thing. If you get too anchored to one date or to one number on the scale, you forget all the effort and all the small little micro habits that you're putting in. So you're building muscle, you're getting stronger, your body's going to fluctuate. It's not linear like that. So you got to be careful with obsessing and basing all your success based on having your weight on the scale be a certain way. It's the same thing with bulking. You know, a lot of people lift and the most important thing is to get bigger. I agree. A lot of times people want to get big. You want to get big. You want to get big. You want to build muscle, but you also just don't want to get fat. You don't want to put on weight for putting on weight's sake, right? If someone says, hey, look, I put on 50 pounds and it was all fat and they have a fat gut, you're not going to be impressed. So why are we doing it the other way? Hey, I lost weight. I'm dropped 50 pounds. Great. Well, if you're gaining fat, not good. If you're losing fat, okay. But what if you're not building muscle? You're just losing extra body mass and you're still frail. So the most important thing is how much lean mass you have. You don't have to be as big as possible, but you want to make sure that you're not losing the wrong weight. You don't want to be losing muscle mass when you're losing extra weight in the scale. So you got to be careful with the numbers. Depends what those numbers represent. Anyway, Kevin says on to the next 28. Good for you. Glad to have you with us. Doing well. Keep it up. We got this from Michelle. Michelle says, Swole is greater than. That's all. Michelle, what does that mean? That's very vague. Can you expound on that, Michelle? Swole greater than? What do you mean by that? Whatever could you mean? Anyone else? Anyone else? I don't know what Michelle's referring to. Does anyone else know what Michelle's referring to? Maybe not. Someone knows. Some of you out there know. All right, I'll let that float for the live chat. All right, we have this one from Zachary. Zachary says, rate my breakfast. I think we did this. I feel like we did this already. I can't tell sometimes if we've talked about it or I commented in the app. Sometimes I feel like I've seen these posts a few times because I'm in the app and I forget if we covered this already, but rate my breakfast. Let me know how I'm doing. Don't hold back. Leftover. I think we did this already. We'll do it again. Leftover spicy poblano with sourdough toast from I Hope. Yeah, we did this already. With pineapple juice. Okay. Got a little pineapple juice. Anyway, sourdough, eggs, a little juice. Sounds good. Sounds good. I think we covered that one already, but it's a good meal, so I don't mind sharing that twice. Okay, excellent. Let's get into some rate my meal. Let's do some of this. Moving right along. We'll take some questions soon. Let's get some more meals. That really segued nicely into this next segment. All right, here we go. First one. This one's from Aaliyah Hall. Egg white omelet with vegetables and reduced fat cheddar, plus buttered steamed sweet potato, and coffee with 0 sugar creamer. Let's talk about this one for a little bit. Okay. You're making your own food, right? You get points. You get points for certain things. And then I have my own suggestions. So I'm not having a conversation right now with Alea, so I don't know exactly all the details as to why. I'm just putting out, this is rate my meal. So I'm going to tell you how I'm rating it. I don't like the egg whites. Where's the yolk? You're missing all the nutrition. Get yourself some egg yolks. Those sweet potatoes, definitely looking a little pale there, but they're steamed, so they're going to look a little different. Whatever, use a whole egg. I don't care so much about the vegetables. That's up to you, what works for you and what doesn't. Make sure you test those things. So we're just going to leave that as a generality. Some people have issues with certain peppers and tomatoes and whatnot. I like the full fat. I like raw cheese. Of course, if you're cooking it, obviously it's not going to be raw anymore, but obviously quality matters. So I don't like removed skim milk. I don't like these ultra processed dairy products. So not a fan of that. I definitely don't like the 0 sugar creamer because 0 sugar creamers, if most of the time it's soybean oil, it's gross. So I don't know what the ingredients are, but I'm putting that out there. Most of the time when you say 0 sugar creamer, it's garbage because it's going to taste sweet or like pumpkin spice or whatever it is, but there's no sugar in it. So they're adding all these other usually stabilizers. Usually they're heavy with soybean oil or high fructose corn syrup and such. So if you want a creamer, get yourself some cream and put cream in it. Put some cream in it. In my coffee, I like collagen. I like some raw cream, and I do like a little bit of maple syrup. That's really good in coffee, or just black. But anyway, you're calorie counting. You're worrying about the fat. You're worried about the fat and the sugar, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be. So those are the checkpoints I would go after. I would go after the whole eggs, the cheese, the creamer. I would say of all these things, I mean, I would get rid of the creamer first. The creamer is garbage. So that's probably the most important thing to adjust first. I'm not a fan of the whole egg white thing, but you could start with, like, let's say that's 3 or 4 egg whites. Start with a yolk. Sometimes people, it's really rich and they're really paranoid. I'm eating a yolk. Oh my God, it's going to go right to my gut, which it won't. You're missing a lot of nutrition. Like, that's the egg. So, all right, but I'm glad you're making your own food, couple adjustments, and I'll rate that higher for you. Chelsea, I've already eaten 4 of my 5 chicken fingers from Zaxby's. This is my lady time, migraine day. Oh boy. All right, here we go. This is my lady time, migraine day, swamp troll in the dark dinner. I'll get back to tuna rice and broccoli tomorrow. Okay. Are you talking about like you're on your period, so you're excusing eating garbage? This is why you have migraine day. Migraine day? We've had this in the Swole fam. We've gotten rid of people's migraines because they cut out ultra-processed foods. Remember, we've had people that were eating ultra-processed dairy for years, and their migraines went away. Like, that's garbage. That's nasty. I'll tell you what, when I met Mama Swolio, like, this is what's crazy. If you know, like, girls around their period, they will be eating, like, oh, on my period, I eat Starburst and hot Cheetos and Gatorade. You're poisoning yourself. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Your body's losing blood. You're losing iron. Eat some raw liver and you'll be fine. If you eat right, you won't have migraines. If you have migraine day and you're eating this shit, no sympathies. You're doing this to yourself. Chelsea, if you really want to never have migraines again, join the Swole fam. We'll analyze, we'll look through your nutrition. I guarantee we can get rid of that for you. I'm telling you, that's not good. That's not good. Tuna rice and broccoli, that's even grosser. No wonder you have migraines. You're just sucking down mercury. Tuna rice and broccoli. We can help. We can help with that. All right, join the fam. Chelsea, all right, stop eating poison. You won't have migraines. If you have migraine day, we have nutritional issues here, right? Hannah, this is our Valentine's Day dinner. It's Valentine's Day. That was 2 weeks ago, I guess. Homemade crust and sauce. 3rd attempt at deep dish pizza, our favorite one so far. Also made garlic rolls with the leftover dough. Why? Valentine's Day dinner, so we made the problem is people are proud of this stuff. Look, we made sloppy pizza dough sauce because we love each other, because it's February 14th. Why can't you eat real food? Why can't you eat real food, fam? Why can't we make it real food? Why can't you make a steak together? I'm assuming it wasn't sourdough. I'm assuming you weren't doing this from scratch using like einkorn flour and doing it properly, right? Homemade crust and sauce. So bread and sauce. All right. Come on now. Come on now. Jackson. Jack's on. Jack's off. Jackson Flynn. Steak and asparagus and some sweet potatoes, I think that is. All right. I'll clap for it. All right. I'll take what I can get at this point. Monday, making it rough for me, people.
You see on the Sunshine Band.
All right. You do know you get a point off the bat. You get a point off the bat for making food at home, right? I appreciate you making homemade pizza. Look, I'm trying to find the light in the darkness. If you're making homemade pizza, that means you have time. You're taking the time. You're buying ingredients. You're taking an hour or two or whatever, and you're making the dough. I get it. You want to make something, but you can make better food. So in other words, it does show competency in the kitchen. Cool. Now that you have kitchen competency, let's change the things that you're buying and let's change the outcome of what you're making. If you can make a pizza in the oven, you can make a steak, you can make chicken, you can make a pot roast, you can do anything. It's really easy. You have the tools, you look up an ingredient. Like people say, I don't know how to cook. You can't look up a fucking recipe. Turn to boil. Boil the water. Oh, boil it. Make it hot and bubbly. It's not. And then it's like, for 5 minutes, put this in. Okay. And you put it in. It's just practice and you do it. Eventually you don't need to look and you know how to cook things. All right. All right. All right. Come on. It's Monday. I know it's going to happen. We got 2 more. Mitchell Jones broke a 36-hour fast with this.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's on your plate? A 36-hour fast. I don't do fasting anymore, but this looks like, my God, what is that? Eggs with broccoli or something? All right. And you guys are weird. Remember last time we had some eggs and salmon? And I was like, that's a weird combo. Whatever someone ate last time. Salmon and eggs with broccoli. Are there it's okay. All right. Not for me, but all right. Okay. Combos though. All right. I think it's eggs. I'm just going to call it eggs. I'm telling you what you're eating now. I don't know what that is 100%, so I'm telling you it's eggs. All right. Sith Otero. All right. So we got the Sith indeed. We got some spinach. We got some over easy eggs, some blackberries, and pancakes. So we got a couple things that are okay. The rest of it's like a dessert. And my tongue burns looking at that spinach. So, all right. Not bad. It's just kind of like a dessert, but the eggs are good. Pancakes could be an issue because of the flour and all the other things that are probably in there. We all know, unless you're making it yourself or really paying attention to the quality. Spinach, not for me personally, but the fruit, eggs, coffee. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I mean,
We choose
You switch the samples.
and sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's hit or miss. All right. To each their own, man. To each their own. Kind of. I got a little mark on my hat. What's that? What is that? Doesn't want to come off. Oh, there it is. There it is. Got a little bit. There we go. All right, let's take some questions. All right, at least you're making your own food, right? First off, make your own food. It's not complicated. Also, inside the app, we have tons of recipes, so you can learn how to make food. And once you go through and you actually practice, again, you got to practice. You'll get better at making food. It gets easier. You don't have to look at recipes every time you cook. You guys know what to do. All right, practice, practice, practice. Questions. First one from Adesh Baylor. Let's see. Can I still have a good body even if I don't eat meat? What do you mean by good body? Can you still have a good physique? That depends on what you determine a good physique. Are you going to have nutrient deficiencies? Yes. Very, very likely. Most people do. That's why they don't stick to the vegan crap. So you don't eat meat. Do you eat eggs? There's a big difference between vegan or just like, I don't like red meat. And then it's like, why don't you eat meat? I always question this. Why don't you eat meat? Why? Some people might have a reason. Why? And some people have a reason, but then we have to talk about whether it's a good reason. So a good body, what does that mean? Aesthetic wise, maybe temporarily, but you're gonna have nutrient deficiencies and it's not going to be good for you long term, more often than not. So a good body is relative. Healthy body, I disagree. I say no. Or not as healthy as you can with quality animal food sources. So best of luck finding some grass-fed and finished beef this week. Red Snake, Papa, for a person that has never gone to a gym, what are your recommendations to start? Well, to simplify, join us over at swolenormousx.com. You can start the 90-day dash program. You can start the Swollen Sevens. You can start with the yoga classes, with our master classes, start with the nutrition jumpstart, everything that we have for you inside the app. Join us, join the fam, join the community, and we'll help you every step of the way. My recommendations are to get on a quality program because you don't necessarily know what to do. So we teach you how to program yourself, but we also give you the tools. So as you're doing our programs, it's not, hey, just do this. We teach you why you're doing the things you're doing. We give you the reasons why you're doing it. We educate you along the way. So it's not just going and lifting. We want you to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, because if you understand why you're doing what you're doing, you're more likely to stick to it. You can justify, you can understand the reasons why you're doing these things. So while you're going through the process of grinding every day and you make incremental progress, you understand why you're doing what you're doing. So you're just not, oh, well, I'm just waiting for results. They haven't worked in 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks and okay, I quit. We want to make sure people understand why they're doing what they're doing. So if you've never gone to the gym, you need a program so you know that you're doing something with the right direction as you learn these skills, as you get the coordination, as you approach your nutrition, because it's not just the training, it's the nutrition, it's all the 7 pillars. And you can download your free copy over at swolenormousx.com. Abstract. How to get rid of belly fat. I'm tired of all the sources, different sources saying a million different methods. Well, there's really not a million different methods. There's one way to lose it. There's just a million different circle arounds, and there's just a million different places that people start. So everyone's in their own starting point, but it's really the same thing. Build muscle, lower your cortisol, lower stress, eat healthy, and do this for years and years, because you have to undo all these years of bad habits and all the toxins in your environment. And people don't understand all the reasons why they store extra body fat. cortisol, estrogenics. There's a lot of issues that people have with their cycles because we live in a modern society that if you're not actively pushing back against it, the blue light and the different stressors and different things in your environment and social things with the phones and TVs, there's a lot of stuff just really stressing people out, and people dramatically underestimate the impact of those kinds of stressors. Lowering your stress, eating healthy, training hard, and then all the other things. And it takes time. And if you haven't been doing this for 20, 30 years, well, it's not going to take a year to undo all those things. So there's always going to be complicated solutions or a magic pill or take this injection, you'll lose weight. Have you seen all the people taking Ozempic? Do you want to look like, you don't want to look like you take Ozempic. I promise you that. I promise you that. Look at anyone that's on Ozempic. They look like shit. They look like a melting fucking ice cube. There's something very sinister and not good. You could tell by looking at people that take it. They just look like they're fucking wasting away. Not good. Not good. Val Sagard. Papa Swole, what's your all-time favorite compound exercise? Good question. I don't have one. There's so many compound exercises and I would never pick a favorite, which doesn't make sense because they all have their own benefits. So whether it's a shoulder press or a bench press or a row or a squat or a hip hinge, I don't have an all-time favorite. It's not even worthwhile discussing. But many exercises are good. Some are better than others, depending on what the application is, but I don't have favorites for that. I don't waste time with that kind of stuff. My favorite exercise. Depends. If you're comparing it to something else for a certain purpose, there might be a clear cut better than something else, but there's a lot of good exercises out there. Tesla Todd 420, best advice to get past an injury. Go through it. You're never going to get past it. You have to address the reason why you got injured in the first place. So patch up those cracks in your foundation, understand the human body, why you got injured, and then work to prevent that injury from taking place in the first place. And most people don't really address the issue of their injury. They just wait till the injury goes away and the pain goes away, and they think the problem went away. No, the inflammation just went down, then you hurt it again, or you hurt something else because you never fixed the movement impairment that led to the first injury. So the best advice is to understand why that happened and then train and directly address the issues that led to that injury in the first place so it doesn't happen again. Because it will. Or it'll lead to some other injury in the future. Kinda Just Dead. What a name. Last one. Any other last minute questions? Live, drop in the comments, hashtag Ask Papa Swole. We'll move on. Any tips for staying motivated? I'm finding it really hard. At the moment, anything helps. Watch the show, watch one of my videos. You're not going to stay motivated. So if you're waiting to stay motivated, doesn't happen, doesn't exist. So you're finding it really hard to stay motivated and you're wasting your time. You're never going to feel like it all the time and you're not supposed to. That's the whole point. So you're waiting for something that's not going to happen. You're waiting to keep feeling like it. I don't feel like training today. So what? The fuck does that have to do with anything? Are you recovered? Are you on a good program? Because sometimes I might feel like I'm dragging a little bit, but I stick to my program and I let the program speak for itself. I know my body. So if I know I need an extra recovery day or I know if I need to adjust the volume, but until you're at that point, you need to stick to your program and the numbers won't lie. If your strength is improving, if you're still making progress, that's proof that what you're doing is still working. Now, as you get more advanced, you're going to start to notice those things earlier. And let me explain. You're going to start to notice that kind of like burnout or plateau before it happens. I know a lot of you feel that. You know when you start to feel like the edge is kind of wearing off a little bit. You know when you're kind of like eroding a little bit on that recovery long term. Because it's not just day to day, it's also cumulative. So the workout you did last Monday is also going to be the workout you did last Monday. It's Monday. So how many of you worked out Saturday? How many of you worked out yesterday? How many of you worked out Friday? How many of you worked out Thursday? That workout is affecting your recovery today. You are still fatigued to an extent from that workout. Now, are you fatigued to the point where you can't perform? Are you fatigued to the point where you can't progressively overload? Are you fatigued to the point where you can't sleep properly? Hopefully not. But all that matters. So the workout you did yesterday and the day before, you're still in fatigue mode. You're not at literally 100%. You're recovering from that. Now, if you're kind of burning the candle at both ends and you're kind of like, wearing that down over weeks and weeks and weeks, you might find a crash in 3 weeks, even when your programming is good. But maybe you should have backed off a little bit on the volume for one. Maybe you should have maybe a different split you'd prefer. Maybe you need to change your exercise selection because you're choosing ones that are a little bit too taxing. You're doing deadlifts and RDLs, and you're doing heavy squats, and you're doing barbell rows. You're doing heavy compound movements, and you're exhausting yourself because of the volume. It's just much more overload. You can imagine if you're doing, again, I always talk about this, if you're doing a hack squat and you have 4 plates on each side, that's a lot of weight. You guys know if you do a Smith machine squat or a Bulgarian split squat or something where you're using a lot of weight and it's very stressing and it's on your axial skeleton, the shoulders on your bar, it's very overloading. That's much more challenging, and it's going to take you much longer to recover from, relatively speaking, than if you're doing a single arm preacher curl. You're going to feel a sick pump and you might push to failure with the preacher curl, but it's a small muscle, it's a small area. You don't have to activate as many motor units. It's not as stimulating and it's not as exhausting and fatiguing for your central nervous system when you're doing a single arm preacher curl, the same way as you're doing a leg extension or the same way as you're doing a hack squat or a hip hinge. This is why for lower body, I think people need to train hard, but I think people dramatically overdo lower body volume. And they think they have to beat their fucking legs up to the point of passing out and to the point of not being able to walk. And I saw someone posting this the other day. They're like, legs are really stubborn because you're walking on them all the time. So you really have to beat your legs into submission. I don't think that that doesn't make any sense. If anything, your legs are more fatigued because you're constantly on them all the time. And most people dramatically overestimate. You're really on your legs all the time. Half the time people are sitting down on their ass or you're standing around. You're not really stressing your legs out. You're not stressing your glutes out because you're standing. You're not stressing your glutes out and your quads because you're sitting in a chair. You're walking around. Ooh, really stressful for your quads. Not really. You see people walking around, they don't have jacked fucking legs. It's not stressful for your body. So you need, and the amount of load that you use for legs is so much more than your upper body. It's more taxing. So you have to think about not just local musculature, which reacts to any kind of volume like any other body part. You don't need 10 sets for quads because they're larger, or glutes. You don't need more volume. You actually need higher intensity, push it harder, but you need more recovery. You don't need that kind of destruction because you're on them often, because they're the stabilizers for a lot of other movements, because the feedback, you're going to feel much more fatigued. You're going to feel much more exhausted and much more negatively affected from having crippled legs and being able to barely move. It's going to affect your entire life. So keep this in mind. A lot of times people think more is better, but think about the load that you're using. It's not just for the muscles, it's for your central nervous system. And if you have 6 or 7 or 8 plates on a leg press and you're doing full range of motion, that's a lot more taxing than doing like 2 plates on an upper chest, a chest press. Okay, well, you have 8 fucking plates and it's on your back and you're squeezing and it's on your entire system. So you think you need to do 5 sets of that? You're going to be so fucked up. Just think about this. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You might have to train it harder. It might be harder for you to push to that limit. Yeah, I mean, your body it's much less comfortable to push towards failure for a lower body exercise, especially when the weight is on your neck. Because there's this fight or flight, there's this, hey, if I don't make it up, I'm going to be crushed under the bar. So there's that imminent death type feeling. So you have to take that into account. If you're doing a barbell squat and you have like 5 plates on each side, that's a shitload of weight. You don't make it, you're not making it. So there's that kind of real fear built in. You really have to overcome that. So you're pushing there's just a much greater stress on the body. So you have to think about that also. But you're not going to stay motivated. So you're looking for something that doesn't exist. Make sense? Okay. That's some good stuff. Some gems there. I'm telling you, think about it. Everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to be different. And this is coming from someone who I used to murder my legs to the point where I couldn't walk for like 5 days. I've done leg workouts where like literally I would touch my quad would be sore. Like my teardrop, my quad would be sore for, I remember the longest, I think it was 7 or 9 days. Sore to the touch for 9 days. That's like a car accident. That's surgery. Like I would fuck myself up. And I look back and I don't need to do that. I've had better growth and better strength improvements and everything by not doing that, by allowing my muscles to recover and then doing another hard set in a couple days. It's so much better. And you have to find that volume. You have to find how much works for you for different body parts. Some people, you might like to do 3 sets for chest. Some people might like 2. Some people might like 4. It depends on how many times a week you're working. Depends on the exercise selection, depends on how quickly your body recovers. Certain people, and you guys know this, what body part that you train, what body part do you train that is more sore than others for whatever reason? Some of you are going to experience certain damage, like when you do, and I talk about this, you might find that when you train triceps, you'll get more sore and you'll get more sensitive than other body parts. Like I don't really get sore in my biceps necessarily, but man, my triceps definitely feel it. So I'm much more mindful of that when I'm programming. My quads tend to, I get real, certain body parts will just take a little bit more to recover. So I know when I'm training them, I'll send it with less sets and I know that I need more to recover. I shouldn't do more volume because if I do, then I have to adjust the next time I train them, which sometimes might be okay. Maybe I'm not going to train my quads again in 2 days or 3 days. Maybe, okay, I'm going to do this. I'll skip it. I'll do glute bias next time. I'll do quad bias today. And then it's okay. And then I'm doing much less. So I could do a little more volume today. So you can, mix and match depending on what you need. The bottom line is how much volume are you doing and how soon can you train that body part again? So remember, if you're trying to, in general, train a body part twice a week, what does that mean for you? If you're training a body part Monday, Thursday, or Monday, Friday, guess what? If you train 4 sets of a body part on Monday and you can't do it on Thursday, then either do 4 sets on Monday and wait till Friday and crush it again, or do 2 sets or 3 sets and then train on Thursday. So you have that, right? It's not that complicated. You might find if I do an extra set, I can't train on Thursday, but I can train it Friday. So what's more important to you? Training on Thursday? So do 2 sets or 3. And then if you feel like it, fuck it, I'm gonna do an extra set. Okay, cool. Then just do that on Friday. But you have to find out what you can handle and understand what I was saying before. Maybe you could do 4 sets on Monday and then 4 sets on Thursday. Maybe that works for week 1. Maybe the second week you do it again and you kind of get away with it. Maybe the week after that, you still feel a little bit sore on Thursday, or the performance isn't there and you kind of plateau. And then you do it again. You're like, oh, I'm not seeing results. Like, oh, this is kind of burning me out. I feel dragging, right? So it might work for a week or 2. And then after that second or third week, you just start feeling worn down. Yeah, because it really wasn't good programming from the start. You overdid it and you made it through a week or 2, and then it started to wear on you. So it would have been better for you to do 2 sets and stick to that. And this is why less is more. And then see in the future, right? Why do 3 sets when you can get that same work done in 2? Or why do 4 when you could do 3? So it's better to get a quality split, do less, train it hard, be consistent with it. And then in the future, as you progress, be like, hey, maybe I could do another set, and then test it and see if you need another one. You don't always need another one if you're doing quality. So you have to track and see. And if you don't track and see, then you're asking, like when you ask me questions or you ask yourself, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, how can you judge it? You're just like, well, I don't feel that great today. Is that accurate? Look at your chart. Are you making progress? Cool. So get out of your own fucking head and go train. You have to see what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just going to go based on how you feel. And for whatever reason, you might feel like shit. And it doesn't mean that you're not making progress. But in your head, nothing's working. I feel flat. I look in the mirror. Oh my God, maybe you didn't have any carbs last night. Maybe you forget, you didn't want to cook any rice or potatoes, and then you're low on carbs. So you feel kind of flat. Okay. Or you didn't hydrate enough or whatever. So you have to really understand why those feelings are taking place, and you can't put all your stock in them because sometimes you just feel a certain way for whatever reason. Cornholio, I realized doing heavy cable rows makes me less sore than doing half the weight. Heavy cable rows makes you less sore for the same. Well, if you do heavier weight, you're doing less reps. So if you're doing a set for 15 or 16 to failure, why do 16 reps to failure when you could do 8 reps to failure? You're doing twice as many reps for the same type of stimulus. You're better off doing 8 reps to failure. You're saving half the reps. If you do 3 sets, you're saving 24 reps. You're saving 3 extra sets. So you're doing 16 sets of 16 to failure. You're doing 48 reps versus 24. You're doing double the amount of work. Just saying some reasons why. Okay, we got releases, and we do have a surprise Swole card that we'll talk about. So let's get into some of these releases. We'll take this first one. We got this inside the app. Let's see, new releases.
What's in the box?
Speaking of recipes, we have maple and herb breakfast sausage. So very nice. If you like some breakfast sausage, check out this recipe now inside the Swole Enormous app. Very nice. Secret Swole card. Don't, just so you guys know, the Swole card, you could write that, but it doesn't, the Swole card doesn't say secret on it, but you can write that. That counts. All right. Maple and herb breakfast sausage. We also have featured classes. We have the Swolga hip rotation. That's a based one. That's with me. That's me. That's me. That's your boy. We also have Swollen 7 mobility round 14. Look, I had the wood in the background and the slack line. I remember that. And we also have Maxim Swole shoulders. So we got those 3 featured workouts and Swollen 7s and cool stuff inside the app. Join us over at swolenormousx.com. These are just featured for the week. We got new yoga, and we have a very special announcement when it comes to merch. A little bit different than what you're normally used to, but excited about that. So let's get into a video. Let's see what we got in the folder, and then we'll get into the yoga and the, I'll put quotes, merch release. So let's see what we got here. We'll do this one. It's short. It says, how to get cultured.
What's in the box?
Learn a different language, get more cultured, get more fat, get more queer, get more trans, wear more colorful clothing, wear pounds and pounds of makeup, organize with your community, talk about what you're going to do to make things better. Don't ignore every homeless person you see on the side of the road. Read a book, kiss more lesbian, do more, wake up America.
Okay.
I work with retards.
Now what do you say if we form a new club and call it the He-Man Woman Haters Club?
All right. I saw this video a while ago. You might have seen this. It's called McDonald's CEO Doesn't Like His Own Food. Well, who the fuck likes McDonald's food? It doesn't taste good. So let's watch this. Funny as hell. You know he's never eaten in his life.
Chris K here with, you've heard about it. Here it is. The Big Arch.
This is like Mr. Rogers. If Mr. Rogers was the CEO of McDonald's, I feel like this is AI almost. It's like, put Mr. Rogers, hey Grok, put Mr. Rogers as the CEO of McDonald's, right?
This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow.
Blink twice if you need help.
Burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing, I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness. It's a
delicious product.
But those crispy onions as well gives a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but Big Arch, try it when you can get it.
Try it when you can get it. And then he goes and fucking throws up in a garbage can afterwards. All right. Yeah, I love how it cuts right after he takes a little bit of nibble at the end. Yeah, you don't want to eat that shit either, do you, bro? You don't want to eat that shit either. He doesn't even want to fucking eat it. Yeah, I'm gonna taste it. It's so good. I'm gonna taste it. All right, let's do one more video and then we'll talk because we got a lot of stuff to get into with the merch release. All right, this one's called If You Support Trump. All right, I got my shirt ready.
If you support Trump, or any of them at this fucking point, I'm going to question if you graduated high school. I'm going to question if you actually read a book. I'm going to question.
Why are all the libtards talking about reading books when they don't read? The only book that they read was like Mein Kampf or the Communist Manifesto. That's the only book that these people have ever read. And they haven't even read that. You know they haven't read that. I'm joking because they don't even know that book. Look at those fucking eyes, dude. Holy shit.
The eyes, Chico.
Look at those eyes.
Never lie.
All right. Anyway, so as if they fucking read books. So let's start there.
If you are actually legally allowed to drive, or if you have an expired license and you like to play pretend and know how to drive.
I can't get an ID because I'm black. I don't know how to get an ID. Why are you such a fucking racist? Why are you such a fucking racist? You don't know my lived experience. Sheesh.
Because I know personally some people that do that. If you can side with somebody who has so much evidence against them that they are a criminal.
What evidence?
A violent felon.
What evidence of violence? What are these people talking about? I will await this evidence. Where are that? What does anyone know what it is? You guys in the chat, someone tell me what this evidence is. Can't just say that without other words.
Who has committed atrocities against human nature.
Against human nature. What does that mean? Again, what are we talking about here?
If you can still support that, even though there is blatant evidence in your face saying...
What evidence? I'm just asking. I'm asking.
That's what's going on. I'm going to question your intelligence.
Can I question your intelligence because you're saying words without complementary words that give context to what words you just said?
Immediately, your views will be lowered because what do you mean you can side with a pedophile? A murderer?
What's the murderer? And where's the pedophile proof? I don't know what she's talking about, to be honest. Quite frankly, I don't know what she's referring to. She might be retarded. I'm not retarded. She's retarded. Most Democrats are retarded, quite frankly, but she sounds like Sleepy Joe. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's retarded. Everyone knows that.
Come on, man.
But yet you think the issue is immigrants in your street. You think the issue is the poor people around you. And
the poor people around? Has anyone ever said that? No, because that doesn't make sense. Criminals, criminal aliens. Yeah. I mean, illegal aliens, criminal aliens. It's still, you're from another country and you broke in illegally. You're not legally allowed to be here. You're not supposed to be. So you go home. It's not that complicated. You break the law, you have to suffer the consequences because we live in a society where we don't allow people to do these things. And it's been that way for a very long time. And it's like that in every other fucking country. Well, it's a banger.
Not the billionaires that are eating people and raping children.
Yeah, there's some fucked up shit. So I don't disagree. There's a lot of fucked up shit that needs to be gone through. So continue.
From what I've gathered over time is I've realized that most of the people that support it happen to have done those things themselves. And that's why they don't say anything. Because, if that is rape and that is assault, then that means that I did that to somebody. Yeah, it does. That would require you to take accountability for your actions, wouldn't it?
Ah, shit. Did I rape children again? Fuck.
Because of the implication.
Damn it. Is that the implication that we're talking about here? Damn it. I knew it. I shouldn't have taken that bite. I know. It tasted like chicken, by the way. I shouldn't have eaten that baby. I'll take the L on that one. Okay.
And that would be really hard for you. Because that seems to be the issue with men nowadays, is taking fucking accountability. Deflect. That's all they know.
Did she say that out loud? Did she say that men have an issue with accountability? Man, feminism really fucked you ladies up, huh? It's always the opposite. It's always literally the opposite. So, yeah, women don't take any accountability. Why do you get the right to vote, but you don't have to serve in the military? You don't got to take any physical consequences for your actions, but you get to vote your husband's away to war. You get to vote other people's children into conflict. You get to vote people out of, being able to own a home. You get to vote for fucking communist retards because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. So you feminists are the fucking absolute worst. You have no accountability. You could have sex and not have any accountability. You could either just pop a pill or go and take the old the coat hanger, and go and make some scrambled eggs. So you can go and kill your babies. You don't have to have one. You can just spread your legs for anyone, go on OnlyFans, whatever the fuck you want to do. No consequences, right? Oh no, men, all the accountability. We don't take accountability for anything. Yeah, we take accountability for letting you idiots vote us out of a coherent country. So boo to communism, and boo to Marxism, and boo to retards. Retards. This is what happens. This is what happens when we allow, well, this is what happened. This is what has happened. So I don't have to say, this is what happens. Papa Swole, I disagree. Where we are today is literally a byproduct of all that. That's where we are today. So this is what happens when you, no, this is what has happened as a result. So I don't have to like make the argument. I don't have to make the argument about it. We're seeing the result of all that. And when I talk about women like this, I'm not saying all women. Swole sluts are a lot of, but not enough, right? Why is it like 20%? Why are men overwhelmingly like, okay, yeah, we need to get criminals and rapists away from our women and children? And 80% of women are like, no, we want all these people here. I'll let them stay in my living room. It's weird. It's weird. You tell me why 80%. And it's just evolution, right? It's this kind of social contagion. It's not wanting to be ostracized. It's lack of physical strength and fear and the unknown and trying to not be ostracized from the tribe. So women have always been much more susceptible to cult behavior, and it's a problem. It's a problem. Lied to for 100 years. So, yeah. Well, men go along with it because men want women. So it's like, all right, we'll go along with this. Like, do you like me now? Like, would you like me now? It's like, no, we hate men. We're the same. We don't want you. Men are evil. The patriarchy. Uh-oh. Yep. It's always the fat bull dykes that ruin it, right? The real man-hating women and the real man-hating feminists that run the point for all this. And then the quote innocent women that just kind of go along with it, that don't want to be yelled at or ostracized. They end up voting and joining these social groups that actually are against their best interest, right? We want to be accepting of everyone, including men, in women's private spaces like locker rooms and bathrooms. You want a man in there jerking off while you're trying to take a piss. You want a man to be in your daughter's locker room and playing against them in sports, laying them out, breaking their face, body checking them. You want a dude playing girls field hockey and just laying someone out. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, the 20% of men, the 20 or 10% of men that go along with this shit, yeah, they're gay or they're male feminists or they're incels and they can't get laid, so they'll just smile and wave at whatever lunatic woman says anything. So, feminism is a cancer. It's just Marxism. That's the thing. It's just repackaged because women could have been leveraged as an oppressed class, and you're oppressed. You're able to be a stay-at-home mom, have kids, have a family, take care of them on one income, right? You can, like, that's supposed to be some luxury for the ultra wealthy. It's like, no, it was for everyone until you wanted to get taxed. You wanted to give all your childbearing years to a corporation that doesn't give a fuck about you. And then you're wondering why, you're alone and single and have 10 fucking cats. You were lied to, and it sucks. I don't doubt, and I understand why. Like, you would be upset. You should be upset. You were lied to. A lot of us were lied to. You're lied to about school. You're lied to about your college degree. Like, it was worthwhile getting into $200,000 worth of debt for something that is nonsense. Yeah, you've been lied to, and you've been scammed and stolen from your entire life. So people get older and they get pissed off, and then the media, because they're just susceptible to it. All weak people are. So you're susceptible to these kinds of manipulations, and then you get older and you don't know why you're upset, but you're just fucking pissed because they ruined your life. And when I say they, that's very abstract, and it's like, well, you're responsible, but it's like, well, you have to take responsibility. You know, you can't change anything if it's everyone else's fault and you're like, it's not my fault. My ego can't handle it being my fault. It's the Trump. He's mean and he's the genocides. You just start saying shit that doesn't make fucking sense. You start like, oh, save Ukraine and fucking Bahrain and Iran and who gives a shit? Fucking cares, man. Get your own life in order. Your life's a hot fucking mess. You're just angry. And the media is telling you to, hey, be angry at that person. Current thing. Change your flags from Ukrainian flags to Iranian flags right now. Save Iran. Meanwhile, the people of Iran are dancing and doing the Trump dance in the fucking streets because they're like, yay, we're not under a dictatorship anymore. Or for right now. Yeah. No, fight for Iran. Put them back in hijabs. Yeah, good job, women. Feminists. Yeah, no, put the blankets back over their heads. Sure, you really care about women's rights. If you cared about, that's the irony, right? If you cared about women's rights, you'd be in favor of what they're doing in Iran, technically. But you don't care. You just, whatever the media says, Trump's bad, so anything he does is bad. I'm not saying war or anything is good, whatever. But it's all adjacent. It's all adjacent. Unfortunate. Anyway, she had multicolored hair. She couldn't even pick a color. It's red and it's green and it's all sorts of shit. Whatever. We wish her the best. Not really. Okay. Who's ready? Do we have another video? Is that it? We have a throwback. All right. We got a new yoga class and then we'll do the other announcement. We'll talk about this more. Prop flow for hips #2 express class with Alex. Brand new yoga inside the app. I love you, Beaches. We love the Swole sluts too. We love the Swole sluts. We love our women, but we're tired of the lies. We're tired of the deception. We're tired of the grifting. We're tired of this kind of stupid bullshit. We are. It's just unfortunate that, you know, when you talk about stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason because they're overwhelmingly true. It doesn't mean that it's across the board. So I'll get comments like, Papa, you hate women? You hate this? No, I don't. I mean, it doesn't matter that you have a vagina. I don't like stupid shit. So if you're saying stupid stuff, it's like, let's get to the source. Let's see why these thought processes exist. And we know why they exist. But it's the same vein as everything else that's happening in the society. It just comes out in different ways. You know, we've seen that with the anti-diet dietitian. Remember that shit from like 2017 and 2016? It's like an anti-diet dietitian. Like, this is just all the same kind of anti-racist. It's the same Marxist victim bullshit. It just comes out in different ways. And you're seeing it. You see it everywhere. And it's not going away. It's always been there. Because victims never want to take responsibility. They never want to put the onus on themselves because it's the ego. It's my fault. Oh my God, it's me? It's me? Yes, you're the problem. Yes, you're the fucking problem. You're the problem. You're the problem. Fix yourself. Work on yourself. It can't be me. Yes, it can. And it is. So once you address that and you realize, oh, it's my fucking fault, I can take responsibility and change it. If it's my fault that I'm in this situation, then that's good news. That means I have the power to undo and get out of it. All right. Prop flow for hips. Express class with Alex. Based. Thank you, Alex, for a great class. Available now in the app. All right. Who's ready for a Swole card? Who's ready for a Swole card? You ready for Pinkston? Fam, guess what we got here? We got a Swole card. Are you ready? Who's ready for a Swole card? I want to see it. I want to see it in the chat. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to make this announcement because I'm going to put quotes. We have merch. We have merch. And it's not what you think it is. Okay? We have this merch. I'm not racist. I just don't like you. Great shirt. Awesome. Definitely a conversation. It shouldn't be a conversation starter. I make merch that's not a conversation starter. This should be a conversation ender. All right? I know a lot of you just don't want conversations with people. So this is a great shirt to be like, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. All right, here we go. We got a Swole card. Who's ready?
What's in the box?
It is Merch Madness. Congratulations to no one yet. We'll give it away. But it's Merch Madness. What does this mean? What does that mean? All right. It's happening. It's happening. Merch Madness is upon us. We're not starting it today. Don't worry. The rules will be announced and we'll let you guys know how it's going to go down. March Madness doesn't start for another like 2 weeks, but we're going to be getting this going in the next week or so. So let me show you what we're doing here and give you a little heads up. So this is not something, you see this right now. We got the lineup. All right. Merch Madness. So what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be making so here we have the breakdown. We got a bunch of all the top sellers, and we are going to have polls that we're going to post publicly on the social media accounts, and people are going to vote. So here's generally how it's going to work. We'll have printable ones. Don't take a screenshot and print this out. This is not final. So we are going to allow members are going to be able to print out. We're going to have a printable bracket. So then members, you guys are going to be able to write down your votes and what you would vote. And then so in other words, you're going to choose which one will win each one. And then whoever is the top will have probably like first, second, and third place. So we're going to be posting these publicly and letting the general public vote on which design they like the best. And then the members that were the most accurate with their bracket, we will have first, second, and third place finishers. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Looks complicated. Not really. Not really. If you've never done a bracket, it looks complicated, but then you see like right here. So you see, all right, we got 2 designs, right? We got only Swole versus you're a Swole one, Mr. Grinch. So we'll put that out there and see who votes for only Swole and who votes for you're a Swole one, Mr. Grinch. And then whichever one wins, that moves on to the next one. So members will have a chance to win. Everyone else, they get to vote. But if you actually want to win prizes, you have to be a member. All right. So anyone can play. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to pay anything. So we'll have a printable bracket that you can make for yourself. And then what we're going to do is once you select your bracket, you have to post a picture. So we know that your bracket, and we kind of lock in what your choices were, and then we can see. So it's kind of like proof. It's proof of what you chose, and then we'll see how it turns out. All right. So we got look at these designs, right? Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Forest Pump. Look at these. Look at this. Fam, think about this. Think about these face-offs, right? Depth Vader versus ET Phone Jim. Forest Pump versus Swoleverine. So you might love Forest Pump, but who knows? Swoleverine might take the title. You don't know who's going to vote, who's going to show up. This is going to be brutal. Frosty the Swole Man versus Circle of Lift. Gaindolf versus Harry Squatter. How do you choose? Barbell Girl versus Deadlift. Jacked Sparrow. Ooh, first round. First round. Why does everyone say this is complicated? Have you never seen complicated? Have you ever seen a bracket before? This is standard. This is actually this is less than what the normal brackets are. All right. So that's all you do. So back to the fucking gym, and only you can prevent obesity. So which one do you think would win? You put the next one in the next column, right? Lift versus Super Swole Bros. Only Swole. Oof. Tough one. Tough one. So here's the thing. You might like a certain design. A certain design might be the overall best seller. It might be the best seller, but it depends on who votes for it. What time of day it's posted, how many votes come in, like who knows? Who knows? That's why it's kind of like luck of the draw. Yeah, Pepe Sylvia. You don't know. Who knows? Who knows? So super awesome. So we'll have that. All right. That's the merch for today. That's merch for this week. We don't have a new design. We have a bunch that are going to be ready. And this was the big launch. So we'll give you guys updates. We're not starting it today, but it's coming. And then we'll have those printable brackets for you where you can write in, take a screenshot, post it up in the community, and then we'll know who's voting what, and we can kind of like archive it. So if you want to play and a chance to win, we'll announce what the prizes are for the top 3. And then, but it's going to be something fun. And then in the future, we can see about, leveling it up. So instead of March Madness, we're doing Merch Madness, and it's going to be fun. So a lot of cool designs in there, and it's going to be fun to see which one will take the cake for Merch Madness 2026. Merch Madness, baby. Oh yeah. I love it. Which one? Oh, man. Which one? Which one? Fuck yeah. Well, these are all the top sellers, too. So some of the designs, if you're like, I don't see a design, maybe it wasn't one of the top sellers. So these are like the top ones over the past, forget the time frame. This is probably like 6-9 months kind of thing. So there we go. Because we have a bunch that are like top, and then we have a bunch that are like kind of all, you know, lower seated ones, right? So you kind of have like the ones that are overwhelmingly like the top ones. And then you have ones that are like, maybe you have a bunch of like 7th place, 8th place that are really close. So we had to decide which ones were valid. Or we just do, there's different ways we're going to do it. Different ways we could do it. And we might be doing it different ways in the future. But for right now, this is what we're doing. Okay, cool. So we'll announce that. All right, let's give away today's Swole card. And then, I love that. Very exciting. Very exciting. So love that. And then everyone can play. But then everyone can play, but only few can win. Dun, 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 dun. That's a great, really great question. From Dennis and Masha. Hey, Papa, just out of absolutely random curiosity, this is a great question. Do you by any chance have any tapestries? Well, it's funny that you mentioned it, because if you go to papaswolio.com, we actually have many tapestries over there.
There are tapestries.
We have many tapestries.
We got a lot of tapestries. We should have done a tapestry face-off, right? Merch Madness should have been tapestry. Should have been like the Tapestry Typhoon. Instead of March Madness, just Typhoon Tapestries. Just all the tapestries. Look at these designs. Look at that. To the fucking gym and beyond. How is LGBTQ? So we don't have all the final designs up there. It's not finalized, but there's a bunch of them that need to be on there that aren't. So the final face-offs isn't final yet. That was just an example. So there's a lot of really cool designs that we haven't added to it. So it hasn't been finalized yet, but stay tuned for that. So, you know, that's why I didn't want you guys taking a picture. These are the final mashups, because they're not necessarily all the final mashups yet, but it's very exciting. Very exciting stuff. And we have a lot of tapestries, so that's good also. All right, let's give away today's Swole card. It is March Madness, so let's give it away. And then, or Merch Madness. There you go, Pinkston. And then we will give away, we'll have a throwback. So let's give away the Swole card first. You can take our gains, but you can never take my protein. Secret Swole card. We'll announce it. We'll announce it if I land on Secret Swole card. If I land on it. All right. Yep, we got a winner. We got a winner. Right on it. Today, this name, do you guys change your name sometimes? We got one from Mike Thriller Miller. Hey.
Congratulations!
MTM, Mike Thriller Miller. All right. The Thriller. I'll take it. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3588 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations on winning the Merch Madness card. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Your soft, flat triangle that the world never zooms in on.
The world never zooms in on Mike Thriller Miller's soft, flat triangle. Congratulations. Okie dokie. Let's do a throwback. You're very welcome, Mike. Congratulations. Send us that email. The first Merch Madness card. You know we're going to have other ones.
Recognize how the language that we use to talk about fatness, how we view our bodies, how that perpetuates white supremacy. I want you to give that a long, hard think.
Shut up, bitch!
Be careful. Be careful getting great results. You're going to become one of those racists if you go to the fucking gym. Oh, that was it? That was it? Let's do another one. That was weak. That was, I don't like 20-second. I didn't even, that ended. It was so retarded. That ended before it was like fully, the retard was like fully fleshed out. Let's do this one.
These are so unhealthy. I can't believe you're eating them. No, they aren't. They're just processed sugar and carbs. You cannot tell me that's healthy. You're describing something not being nutrient dense.
Speaking of anti-diet, that's her,
these
right?
Aren't, but me eating one right now is health promoting.
She's a steak. It's not. That's fucking poison. Literal poison.
How? I wanted one, so I ate one without guilt or shame present.
Fuck off. If I delude myself and I lie to myself and I pretend I'm living in an alternate reality where this isn't actual chemical trash, it doesn't do anything to me because it's all in my head. I can eat this guilt-free and it's fine. These people are retarded.
By doing that, I actually crave these less and can eat them in more moderation.
If I don't feel guilty about eating garbage, I actually eat less of it. Yeah, that's a great way to fix food addiction, is to tell people, hey, if you're addicted to meth, just do a little bit. Just do some meth in moderation. You're an alcoholic, just drink a little bit. You don't even think about it. That'll help an alcoholic. You won't even think about it anymore. I don't crave meth because I just do a little bit. If I just allow myself to do meth whenever I feel like it, I don't crave it as much. Because you're feeding your addiction. Oh, when I binge drink, I don't crave alcohol. Maybe because you consume it all the time. Well, craziness is definitely not limited to... Man. Mike says I haven't won a card for almost 4 years, then 2 cards in the last few weeks. There you go. Good for you. Good for you. Fam, thanks for being here. Remember, I'm not racist. I just don't like you.
Hi, puppy.
But we got that merch over there at papaswolio.com. Check out all the designs. Thanks for being here. We still got awesome specials going on. So check them all out. Check out all the best sellers, man. And a reminder that we do have the very epic Merch Madness that is dropping soon. So like I mentioned, this is just the initial announcement. We do have that coming up. We will have, obviously some of you have printers and you can print out, you want to print out or take a screenshot, whatever. But once we have the final brackets and we have it all, we're going to have a printable one. So you don't have to print out this whole crazy, like colorful one. We'll have a simple one that's printable that you can mark down your choices and keep it really simple. Again, you don't have to put anything in. You don't have to pay to play. As members, you have access to the first, second, and third place prizes when we announce what those are. And then, of course, we will be posting pictures that will allow the public to vote on their favorite designs. And we will see if the Swole fam, if anyone in the Swole fam is accurate and can pull off the victory. This is going to be absolutely insane. Why do you say complicated madness? This is like a simple bracket. It's a very simple bracket. Do you guys know how brackets work? Elizabeth, complicated madness. Which design do you think is going to be voted better? And then you choose that one. Pretty simple, but it's going to be fun. So we'll break down all the rules or how we're going to do it. And we'll give you guys the deadlines and of course the printable bracket and the ones that you can choose easily. And then we'll have fun. It'll be a fun month. And then of course, by the way, we have epic new releases that are in the final touches. So we have a lot of that. March is going to be epic for multiple reasons. And plus, for those of you that are looking at this, it's going to be tough to release some of these around this time because you're going to be like, that should have been on the chart. That should be on the chart, but it can't be yet. Maybe next year. So we'll see. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, Beaches. We'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Make sure if you haven't yet, go and check out the Weekend Swolosophy. Go check out the Weekend Swolosophy, 35, 87, and 86 over the weekend. It was great. Thanks for the comments for those of you that did so. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGee, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Ay, yeah. Whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children popping.